Hey man, I do what I do.
Give y'all 500. We're gonna give you access to our cobalt. Y'all need to help us keep fighting. And like, nah, don't nobody want to. You took that. You gonna take that L, partner. You gonna take that L.
In which the Europeans may or may not have a role. That will not stop Ukrainians from fighting to get Russians out of their land. That does not mean that Russia can control Ukraine, because what we know is that although President Trump thinks this is about real estate, a bit of land that could be on this side of the border or that side of the border, that is not what it's about for President Putin.
He doesn't get it, does he?
For President Putin, it's about total control of Ukraine and Ukrainians. Look at the Ukraine.
So this is, you know, it's like you got people who are fighting with two different motivations. Now let's go and look at a little history. This is a precursor, and we're gonna dig deep. You're gonna learn a lot. I promise you guys, you're gonna be very happy with this broadcast when I'm finished. It's something you can relate back to. There's a lot of surprises in here. Whatever you feel. Some people, they say when you see two people fighting, you don't know who's the fool and who's not. Okay, so I want you all, you're gonna be able to draw lines and pick sides when we finish them. It might be surprising. Let's keep listening.
Zelensky actually issued a decree back in October 2022, no negotiations. So there were no negotiations. Now Trump is starting negotiations. Now the Europeans and Zelensky are saying, oh my God. Well, Europe should have been negotiating. All of this came about because of American arrogance and stupidity. Sorry to say. This goes back 30 years. I hope some people here understand that. This is not something that Putin started, although that's everybody's line. But if someone actually knows some history, and I do go back with advising Ukraine and Russia and the Soviet Union before that, so I've been involved personally in these issues since 1989. This is U.S. arrogance that goes back to 1992 when the Americans said, we run the world.
I want you to listen very carefully to what this man said, because he's repeating what Trump said. He said, this is not something that Putin initiated. Now, Putin, remember, and look, I am 100% on the side of what's best for the United States. But if we want to get down to it, see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with a person like me. I don't care if we right or wrong. I just want America to win. That's where I'm at. It don't matter to me if we right or if we're wrong. I want America to win. I want America first. All right. And I need y'all to understand that that's where I'm coming from. But at the end of the day, we still have to have an accurate understanding of what transpired beforehand. All right. I feel the same way. Anybody who's, look, America first, period. Why? Because I'm an American. I live in America. We might have our internal fights about racism, poverty, all these other things. But at the end of the day, we are still Americans, and this is where we live. And we have to take care of our land and our country. That's just it. You can call it patriotic. You can call it pig-headed. I don't care. I'm 100% America first. If it means we effing over some people in some other countries, oh, damn well. I'm sorry. Okay. But whatever, I don't care. America first, because my family lives here, because my ancestors live here, because I have stake in the well-being of this country. And anybody with common sense, I don't care what color you are, should recognize that if you are an American, you should want America to always come out on top. Now, of course, we know that all nations fall, all great countries fall, but not today. Okay, that's not today. Let's push that down the road a couple of 100 years. We'll deal with that later. But as it is right now, what this man is saying is that this was not Putin's initiation. This was because 30 years ago, under I guess George Herbert Walker Bush, Daddy Bush, America, after Soviet fell, like, oh yeah, well, you know, we're the unipower now. We the only one. We the number one superpower out here. We're gonna run roughshod over everybody. And so this is where this started those years back. So I'm gonna let that run back again. So now that you have context, I want you to understand that Russia fell. America was the last. I think it was under Gorbachev back in the 1990s. I remember something like Reagan said, Gorbachev, tear down that wall. And then George H.W. Herbert Walker Bush got into office, and then the Soviet Union broke apart. And then after that, you know, America was like, well, we got it. You know, we got it. we the boss all got in these streets. You understand? We do what we want to do. That's basically what happened. And so it was American arrogance. Okay, so just keep listening.
Actually know some history, and I do go back with advising Ukraine and Russia and the Soviet Union before that. So I've been involved personally in these issues since 1989. This is U.S. arrogance that goes back to 1992 when the Americans said, we run the world. We're the unipolar, sole, indispensable nation of the world, sole superpower.
Yeah.
And then in 1994, Bill Clinton said, okay, we'll expand NATO and it'll just keep going eastward. We told the Soviets we won't move 1 inch eastward. Doesn't matter. We're going to do it. We're Americans. We do whatever we want. And Zbig Brzezinski, people here know, they should go back and read his grand chessboard book, 1990.
Now, Brzezinski is, there's a woman who is on MSNBC. Her name is Mika Brzezinski. Her father, Dr. Brzezinski, was a famous international, I guess, he was PhD, doctor, world-renowned international affairs sort of person. And he's going to explain why this man is significant. Listen.
Brzezinski, people here know, they should go back and read his grand chessboard book, 1997, where he lays out Washington policy. He actually has a chapter, What Will Russia Do as NATO expands eastward? And his conclusion is they can't do anything. They'll have to agree to whatever the United States says. So people should learn a little bit of history. Europe, of course, doesn't act at all because it has no foreign policy other than obeying the United States.
Europe has no foreign policy at all other than obeying the United States. Did you hear that? So that's really where we are. Okay. Now, I want to take the opportunity to really dig deep down, way down deep. Okay. Well, in the jungle deep, where signified monkey stepped on the lion's feet. Hallelujah. I'm sorry about that. I couldn't resist it. But anyway, let me slide back over here. Let's go ahead and get geared up. Are y'all with me? Y'all ready to learn something? Are we ready to learn something today? Are we ready to learn something that I think is tremendously important? Somebody say, type bigly in the chat room. Somebody type bigly in the chat room. Let's make sure. Somebody type bigly in the chat room. All right. Hip hop artist, Big Bass DJ, man. Shout out to him, man. He got that good stuff. Here's one I enjoy the most, man.
If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
Woke up this morning, said my breakfast got us great on time, but these haters running late. Hard work get you everything, don't care what haters say. Real success better know it comes with hate. Today I need more haters and more haters and more haters and more.